storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
What's up there, folks? This is Pierre-André Mathieu, and today I am here with a tutorial on how we set up our counterattacks. Before we go on to this tutorial, I would like to say that I apologize for, being very late on this because I've been busy with a lot of things in which I'm not going to say anything of that sort. So, with that out of the way, let's get this tutorial started, shall we? Alright. Before we implemented our counterattack system, I want to go over the character folder because it's where I set up the whole lock system thing. Open that. There it is. And what we're going to do here is we go to our event graph and go to the guard tick. Now I know what you're thinking. Just why are we going back to the guard tick for? There's a pretty good reason as to why I'm doing this. And though I could tell you, but then again, it'd be a lot easier if I were to show you how it's done. You'll see why as I'm going in with this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be adding a couple things. One. This is two. This is three. 4. Slide. 6.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be
This is
afraid
7.
to live this out. We got this.
And the reason why I'm adding this because, well, as the man says, it's better safe than sorry.
Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down tonight. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna light it up, babe. Tonight, we gonna light it up. Just like the sunrise, we gonna light it up.
There. Like I said, better safe than sorry. The next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to use what we added to our guard check tick. So first and foremost, I'm going to press and hold the B key and then bring out a branch with the left mouse button. Then if this is false, then I'll use another branch. And the condition from that is if the current state is equal to any. From from the target array, we're going to make an array. And we need to determine if the player is flinching as he is blocking. If this current action state is equal to any true, then we're going to set our current state and we leave it with nothing. There. The reason why I'm doing this is because, well, I don't want there to be any mistakes whenever we are done flinching as we are blocking.
Another day to lose control. There's a fire in my bones. My sight gets blurry, pushing back the tears. Should take a leap of faith and face my fear. I blame it on the voices that are in my head.
The next thing we're going to be adding are two counter buffers, the forward one and the backward one. Let's add a new function, and we're going to call this forward counter release. As you see, I duplicated the function version of that and rename it to backward counter release. Let's open the release buffer. Actually, I already have that. So, remove that. And rename this one yeah. That'll do. Oh, by the way, if you already have that and it's named counter buffer release, you can just rename it. And if you don't have that, then you do as I did right here from the start. Add new function, name it forward counter buffer release. Whichever method works must work for you. counters.
To your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking as a lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty right at heart.
There.
In the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control.
Alright, now that we got that down, the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to implement counterattack system within our player character blueprint. So, what we're going to do is, well, we're already on blueprints, so we're going to open the player. And what we need to do inside the player character is we're going to be adding both the forward and backward counter release event. Alright, now that we have those two down, what we're going to do is we're going to be setting up a lot of things here. From here, we just need our branch. If it's true, then we're only going to be able to start our animation. this false because we're not even in the air. Both of these are possible, yes. So we're going to determine if we actually determine if this branch is not current object state equal to any, which in this case counter. If this is false, then what we need to do is add another branch. And then from here, we determine if this branch... Actually, we're gonna need an and. So... From here is where we use our input buffer. We're going to need an equal to. And from here, we're going to be using direction input. And it has to be equal to 1. For this one, we do the same. We're just going to copy what we've added here. Paste. Change it to 2. Actually, not 2, but -1. There. That's the way. If we go back to our character blueprint and check. Yeah. From here, the forward counter buffer release is used by the 6 input buffer. So right here, we're gonna set our input buffer. 6. Then from the input buffer, we set our directional buffer. And that should be equal to 1. Let's copy this. And we're going to be doing the very same thing with the backward version. Except if we look here, the 9th input buffer is where we use the backward counter release. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to paste it here, change the directional buffer to -1, and this should be 9. From here, I'm going to be using a print string for testing purposes. Alright. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a macro for the trigger button inputs. That being the block button. Oh yeah, we already have that, so it's all good. And this is function, we don't want that. Macro. There. Okay, so we have our macro here, and what we need to do is we're going to put in a lot of stuff here. So yeah, I held the B key and bring out a branch using the left mouse button. Then I input this node right here. I'm gonna rename this input. From the condition, I'll link this to the inputs right here. And this should be named to press. We're going to be adding 4 things in this macro. So from here, I'm going to be adding another branch. And ensure that it equals to the direction the player is going. One. I'm gonna change that to boolean. To ensure that it is equal to the I'm gonna have to make sure that this one here is equal to the input buffer. Which is 6. If it's true, then it has to align with that, with the direction buffer. Now, if it is true, then we're going to bring a nil out and use forward counter buffer release. If false, then I'm going to go inside event tick and use this. Now I know what you're all thinking, just why am I using the one from the event tick? Well, the reason why I'm doing this is because I learned that it's possible to have the best of both worlds. For this, I'll be doing that later, but right now, I'm gonna duplicate this. If the forward version is false, then I'm gonna use the one that we replicated from here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna change it to -1. The input buffer should be 9, since we're using the backward counter. First and foremost, I'm going to be deleting that. If it's false, then I'm going to backward counter release. Oh, sorry. If it's true from the backward variation of the counter, then I'll be using the backward counter release. But If it's false, then I'm just blocking. Now this one's here is false, then we're going to end the block right then and there. Right then, so let's organize that. There we go. So let's give it a shot, shall we? Oh yeah. I'm gonna rename this to lock. Use that color. So now that I've built that, I'm going to use this. And connect this boolean to the one we built from the macro. Nice it. try this again. Alright, as you can see here, it's going to work. Yep, it's working.
Okay, now that we know that the counters work, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a function that performs from forward to backward counter. To do this, I'm going to create two variables here. One for forward and one for backward. Alright, let's use air. Got to make sure if it's valid. If it's in the air, then we'll have an unarmed counter. The ground version, to be exact. But if the player is in the air, then we'll have an aerial version. I named them abbreviation versions of forward just so that I can dispel the misconfusion. I'm sorry, that didn't come out right. Confusion is more like it. Not misconfusion. Sorry. Anyway, if it is valid, then we're going to use counterattack. However, if it's not valid, then what we need to do is add a print string. We're gonna type it like this. And then return the node. What we're going to do is we're going to set up the state parameter. And we're gonna use 3. Then we're going to set the substate parameter, which is 1. From here we play our Anim montage. And we're gonna use this. I'm gonna have to make sure it's within the block time. And we'll have to ensure if the player is in the air. Air puff. Let's update recent techniques. False, then we can still update recent techniques. Just 20. Well, negative 20, but you get what I'm saying. For the backward version, is the same. Well, minus these. I'm gonna change this one from forward to backward. Give it a unique color. And I'm gonna promote these two to a variable. There we go. Now that that's that, we can add these new functions to our counter releases. Alright, now let's give it a little test. See the upward left corner of the back screen? I'm sorry. Yeah. See what the print said strings here? It means that it's working. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in our new counterattack animation montages. So, go to content browser here. I'm going to go to characters and select this one. Don't really have anything here, so do I? Actually, I do have something. I just need these. Create and montages out of them and move them to this new folder. right here. I'll use the property max to blend them like this. This way it'll save me the trouble. I'll select this and add it to, yeah, right here. Aerial version, I'll add it right to our new montage here. I'll move these actually, copy would be better. I'm gonna replace them with this skeleton here. Save everything before I regret it. Copy that. A new folder and paste it. Then from here I'm going to select them. Move them here. Then I'm going to move this to the Anim montage. I'll do as I did before, just so that I could save myself the trouble. First, I'll need to select the backward version of the counter. Yeah. Let's see how it works. Yep, it works. Alright, let's correct a few things here. First off, we actually need the branch. And we're going to determine if it's not blocking. We're going to do the same here with this one here. Go. And another thing. Let's see if it affects our counters here. Yep, we can't do it as we have before, which means we need the animation montages to be able to reset it. Go to characters. Actually, yep, I can do this. So branch them. As always, well, not always, but mostly, I'm gonna need a buffer start. I'm gonna set a hitbox. More like it. Oops, no. Yeah. Got that. I'm going to do the same thing with the aerial one. And now I'm gonna do the same thing with the palm strike. Knock back. Nope, not right. There we go. Now let's give it another try. Yep, it works. The last part is where we set up our function where when the player counters just at the right time, he performs a just counter. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get event get hit. I'm gonna add a new macro called is blocking timed perfectly. Before I do that, I'm gonna change this to public because we're going to need it for us to have the effectiveness of the counterattack. So without this being public, it won't work. Alright, so here's how it works. I'm going to bring out a branch, then connect this one to the input. From here, I'll need an AND boolean. I'm gonna need a less than equal. Use state parameter. I'll change this one to forward. Duplicate that. Now, if this is false, then we're going to go backward. Oh, my bad. This is forward. This is backward. equal should be equal to 3. And if this is false, then we're going to only be blocking. This. Before I go further, I'm going to go back to perform backward counter and set the sub-state parameter to 3. Okay. Now that I have that, what we're gonna do is, first and foremost, I'm gonna add a comment. And from here, I'll need is valid. To select this, and I need to determine whether or not our player is in the air. Need a print string. Gonna play Anim montage. Last thing I need from here is the falling lateration. First, I'll use character movement and yeah, there's the one. Falling lateral friction. Set velocity. There. Let's use multiplication. Multiplied by 4,000, and we're going to get actor forward vector. Alright. Now from here, we're going to get unarmed just forward counter. There. Now, what we're gonna need is the animations, and that will allow us to perform the effectiveness of the counter. Oops, it's an object. Okay, before I do that, I'm gonna have to convert them into an anim montage. Yeah, that's a little better. Now I can add some animations. Oh yeah, it's an aerial version. There. Now I'm gonna select this to add the just counter, and this one for the aerial version of it. Open that. I don't think I add a face through, so I'm gonna go with third person. Save and expose it. Damn it. There we go. There we go. Branch it. I'll use this. There. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with the aerial version of the just counter. Wait, let's do this. I'm gonna test it out and see if this whole thing works. With the forward counter to be exact. There we go. It's working. It works like a charm. Now that we've got our forward just counter, we're going to be adding the backward just counter. As you can see, I copy what I have minus the aerial ones and the forward montages. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to paste it right here. If we're on the ground, we're gonna promote this to a variable and name it unarmed ground backward just counter. If it's true, I'll promote it to a variable and rename it unarmed aerial just backward counter. That. Just so that I don't get confused here.
There we go. Now that I have that, I'm just going to add in 2 new just counters. Yeah. This actually it's the hit. Just search it. There it is. Rename it. Well, copy it and then put it in a new folder. I'll just move it right here. And now I'm going to put this in the Anim montage.
blending a bit to better suit it. I'm gonna add a lot of tracks to it because of the animation frames. Yeah. Going to set a hitbox. Done. And knock them back. After that, we'll need to be able to reset. Before I give it a test, I'm gonna have to rename reset combo to something else. Everything, and we're gonna test it out and see if this whole thing works based on what I've shown you here thus far. hold on. I'm just gonna set the root motion, and let's see. Okay, I got the backward, but the positioning here is all wrong. Let's try this again. There we go. So we got ourselves a counter system here. Forward. And backward. So now we have ourselves a working counter system in our game. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel for future tutorials such as this. And for my next tutorial, I'll be showing you on how to refine the jumping system, because on one of my videos there are people who have a lot of problems when it comes to implementing a jumping system like that, and I'll be showing you on how to do it next week if possible. And remember, what you take and learn from me is yours to do with as you see fit. Peace out and have a nice day.